I'm Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst. Are you trying to incorporate more seafood into your diet, but maybe not sure exactly how? Maybe it's that the seafood counter is a little intimidating, or maybe you're not quite sure how to prepare it. That's why you need Wild Alaskan Company. The cool thing about this company is that they've got experts in getting the highest quality, sustainably sourced seafood right to your plate. And you know what's awesome as well? You will have access to their team of fishmongers for any questions, recipes, and cooking tips. They're so confident in the taste and quality of Alaska's seafood, they offer a 100% money-back guarantee. Right now, get $15 off your first box of wild-caught seafood when you visit wildalaskancompany.com/CBSPod. That's wildalaskancompany.com/CBSPod for $15 off your first box. wildalaskancompany.com/CBSPod.
Mask conundrum.
I want to get rid of it.
I'm not ready yet.
The House panel agrees on
a bill to create a bipartisan commission.
Where's the gas?
It's going to take a while for things to go back to normal.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper in Chicago. Figuring out what to do about masks. Our Steve Futterman with more.
To mask or not to mask? That's the question across the nation. In Kansas City, you can take your mask off. Mayor Quinton Lucas.
It is the most prudent option to proceed to rescind our mask mandate.
But in New Jersey, even if you're indoors, even if you have the COVID vaccine, keep the mask on. Retailers are going through the same thing. At Walmart and Costco, masks off. At Kroger supermarkets, masks on. And these two men in Connecticut have different opinions. This man still a bit cautious.
I'm not ready yet.
This man all in.
I want to get rid of it.
Steve Futterman, CBS News.
A House panel comes to an agreement on creating a bipartisan commission to investigate the Capitol attack. CBS's Nicole Skanga.
The bill creates a commission similar to the panel created after the 9/11 terrorist attacks to study the facts and causes of the attack. It comes amid efforts by some House Republicans to downplay the insurrection. The bipartisan panel would be composed of 10 members, including a chair, 5 chosen by Democratic leadership and 5 chosen by Republicans.
A warning about domestic terrorism threats that CBS's Catherine Herridge says stem from COVID disinformation campaigns.
The Homeland Security Bulletin provides new detail about what it describes as efforts by Russian, Chinese, and Iranian government-linked media outlets to amplify conspiracy theories concerning the origins of COVID-19, the effectiveness of vaccines, and in some cases, amplifying calls for violence against Asian Americans.
Another Gaza building demolished by an Israeli airstrike. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb in Tel Aviv.
Many people have had to look for other places to shelter as this conflict sort of drags on. Of course, in the south, Hamas has been firing rockets throughout the day. And, of course, Israel has been pounding Gaza. In fact, pounding Gaza with more force than we've seen since this began on Monday.
Gas shortages have spread from the south up to D.C. The Colonial Pipeline says it'll take several days to get the supply chain up to speed, but this gas station employee in Raleigh, North Carolina isn't so sure.
We're still expecting this to be like this for the next 2 weeks at least, maybe 3.
New York Rep. Elise Stefanik is elected new GOP conference chair, replacing Congresswoman Liz Cheney. An update on Wall Street, the Dow up 361 points. Former Central Florida tax collector connected to GOP Congressman Matt Gaetz agrees to a plea deal.
I'm Peter King in Orlando. As part of the plea agreement, Joel Greenberg confesses to spending some $70,000 from official and personal accounts for paid sex, including at least 7 times with a minor he says he introduced to other men. That presumably is the charge that federal prosecutors are interested in. When it comes to Matt Gaetz, the congressman is not mentioned in the agreement. He says he hasn't done anything wrong.
The city of Columbus, Ohio, reaches a $10 million settlement with the family of Andre Hill, a black man shot to death by a white police officer as he walked out of a garage holding a cell phone. Hill's daughter, Carissa.
It's one step towards something. It doesn't help, or it doesn't take the scar off of our hearts that we still have from my dad not being here.
The former officer faces charges including murder. News for the mighty Mississippi River in the Mid-South. CBS's Jim Krasula explains.
The U.S. Coast Guard has reopened the Mississippi River at Memphis, Tennessee. Hundreds of barges are backed up after a 3-day river traffic shutdown ordered after a major crack was discovered on the Interstate 40 bridge that connects Tennessee and Arkansas. The nearly 50-year-old span remains closed to vehicle traffic.
Some 50,000 cars and trucks cross that bridge every day. A weak credit score keeping you from getting access to credit. In a pilot program, some banks are looking into your account as an alternative. Diane King Hall explains.
Some of the nation's biggest banks are working on a plan to extend credit to people who don't have a credit score. According to multiple reports, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and other banks will start looking at other information from applicants, including their checking and savings accounts, to determine who is financially responsible enough for a credit card.
Get ready, Harry Potter fans.
The official opening day of the new Harry Potter store in New York is coming up on June 3rd. And fans are looking forward to all the Harry Potter magic it will be filled with.
Can you hear me? It's just, I've never talked to a snake before.
Well, now they're upping the ante to include a Harry Potter bar with, yes, butterbeer. The butterbeer bar will have a giant cascade of glowing butterbeer bottles that includes almost 1,000 bottles floating from the floor to the top of the bar, while the butterbeer will move through the ceiling in pipes. Magical. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit tested positive for a steroid after the Derby, but has passed Preakness pre-race testing and gets the all clear to race in tomorrow's second leg of the Triple Crown. That's the World News Roundup late edition for Friday, May 14th, 2021. This broadcast is produced by Kathleen Biggins. I'm Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
See every package get delivered. See every attempt to sneak out.
Nice try.
And see every little thing your furry friends do. With self-protection from Xfinity, you can check in on your home from anywhere with live and recorded video, all on your terms. Get started for just $10 a month. Now that's simple, easy, awesome.
Restrictions apply. Residential customers only. Equipment, installation, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Pricing subject to change. Requires Xfinity Internet and compatible gateway. Professional monitoring not included.